So the song I'm performing today is called Away in Darwin, and it's a track that I wrote as we were starting to come out of COVID. I think every artist has created some kind of song out of COVID-19 lockdowns, and this was sort of my one. Away in Darwin, the song that I'm playing today, as I was writing that, it all came out very quickly, and it was only after, and I played it for my partner Leah, and we both just had this moment of like, oh wow, like that's exactly how you've been feeling, and lockdown was strange. Yeah, it was really cathartic to put it all into this big world. Yeah, so my queer identity plays a huge role in my songwriting. I think it provides such a big lens of experience to how I travel through the world and how I've grown up, and the ways that I process my experiences as a young queer person definitely come out in my music. So I think when I first came out, I wrote a whole song about that singular experience, but even down to day-to-day things and just having my sort of perspective of dating someone from the same gender as me, having that even come into my music is in and of itself just influencing. So yeah, it's definitely a huge way that I express myself. And sort of I'm proud of the way that my music reflects my queerness, and I enjoy being able to use music as a medium to reflect it. So yeah. Songwriting is a way for me to process everything that's going on in my mind, and whether that is happy or sad or emotionally precarious, I find that there's often a feeling or an urge to put something down on paper, or even just to play through chords. And I think the times where I've written a song where I've been really happy with it have always been moments where I've felt this overwhelming urge to just like exert some kind of emotionality or some kind of feeling. And I think the way that I write songs as a process is quite different maybe from like the standard idea of writing, in that I'll often go into it not really having an idea of what it is that I'm writing about until I've sort of done it. And then I have this moment where I look back at the song and it's all reflective and very like, oh wow. And sometimes I look back at songs and I find a different meaning in them later. So I think songwriting, in terms of mental health, I think that there would be some other medium if I didn't have songwriting, but it feels really amazing to be able to use that as a way to exert or express how I'm feeling. So yeah, it plays a really big part. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Self-care is so important because, and it's taken me a long time to understand how important it is to value self-care and to put time into it. And funnily enough, I think lockdowns taught me a lot of that, because for a long time, it was just go, keep going as quickly as you can, and self-care was pushed to the wayside. And so having this moment where you have to slow down and you have to take a moment to breathe and to sort of process everything, yeah, it showed me that self-care has a huge value in meaning that you are then able to process and cope and thrive, in the rest of the busyness. And so my sort of self-care ritual now is to try to find space in the busyness and to, get off my phone at night and try to read before going to bed, or I'd always take a shower in the morning just to like reset before the day. And getting a haircut is a big self-care moment for me. But yeah, I think self-care is one of the best ways to be able to not only give yourself the best of yourself to your days, but also the best of yourself to the people around you. And yeah, it should always, always be prioritised. My advice to someone wanting to start writing music or start playing music is that there's never a perfect time to start or to get into it. It's about just doing it, which can feel like a giant leap. But I grew up having singing lessons, but I'd never played an instrument like professionally or had lessons. And so I think I was always a bit scared or had a lot of trepidations about picking up the guitar. And when I did, and it's just slow, like you just start slow and you build, and you know, years later you look back and you're like, wow, look where I started and look where I am now. And yeah, so my advice would always just be to, if it's something you really want to do, creativity is such a beautiful outlet and such an important part of being human and being expressive people, that it's just best not to overthink it and just to give it a good go and just to start and enjoy it. And don't take it too seriously, I think, as well. To my adolescent self, I would say you're a pretty exceptional person. I think my adolescent self just needed someone to say that more, and for that little me to believe it, I really just would say, you've got this. Yeah, you're valuable and you're needed by people and you have something to offer, I think. And I've actually thought about this before. If my like little me self could see me now, I think she'd be so excited for what was coming. And it's not to say like I think there is so much value in just appreciating the small things that you have going in your life and being really pleased and proud and happy of that stuff. And I'm not doing the biggest things and I'm not making the biggest waves, but how far I've come in my own self is like far and beyond, you know, even in the last 7 years since moving to Melbourne. Right now I feel the most comfortable in my own skin, and that's a really exceptional feeling. So yeah, I think I'd be proud of me, and I'm proud of old me. I would say to any queer young person listening to this or watching this right now, love yourself and love your queerness, because you are so worthy of love and value, and you are a beautiful ray of human sunshine. So just love that and enjoy being you.
While you've been away and darling, things round here are getting kinda strange. Me and all my friends are struggling to find anything new to say while you've been away. And while you've been away and darling, my dog has been digging big holes. It's always in the same place in my garden. I guess he has no self-control. I think he gets that from me. think he gets that from me. And while you've been away in Darwin, I've been waiting for change. You've been off on a journey, and the whole world is going deranged. While you've been away in Darwin, oh, I've been waiting for change. You've been off on a journey, and the whole world is going deranged. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for change. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for change. I've been waiting, waiting for change. And while you've been away in Darwin, oh, I stopped watching the news. You sent me a bunch of flowers to try to take away my blues. They were bittersweet, they reminded me of who I was before. Back at a time when I tried to maintain positive thought. I guess that's fair of me to say. While I've been here and you've been away, 'cause while you've been away in Darwin, I've been waiting for change. You've been off on a journey, and the whole world is going deranged. And while I've been here in Melbourne, oh, I've been waiting for change. You've been off on a journey, and the whole world is going deranged. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for change. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for change. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting for change. I've been waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh, I bought tickets to Tasmania, a journey